Ooh boy. Phase 10. I wake up to some weight on my shoulder. I glance to my side and find Akio wrapped up in a blanket and leaning against me, asleep. My back hurts so bad, I feel like I'm gonna die. That's probably because I've been sitting for 20 hours straight. We took a ferry from Nishino-Omote Harbor to Kagoshima Harbor. From there, we've been driving at length along a highway. I've been doing nothing but sitting the entire time. It's pretty much torture. Like, luckily I managed to take a nap. I'm not too worried about having an attack like when we went to Tokyo last year. In the driver's seat, Michi holds the wheel with a sleepy look on his face. Oh god, Michi's driving? He's been driving without anyone to trade places with. Just the sort of thing you'd expect from a proud PE teacher. I raise my head and see a large bridge right in front of me. It's not quite dawn yet. Tokyo isn't nearly as well lit as it was last year. When we visited for Robo 1, the city was bright from night to early morning. Stores running late into the night had shining billboards. And I want to say there were more cars on the streets too. The Rainbow Bridge was lit up more brightly last year. Its radiance hit me with some major culture shock. Now, the lights are more modest, and because of that, its unique white appearance isn't quite as impressive. It's been only 4 months since the disturbance. They said on the news that complete recovery was still a long ways off. Still, compared to Tanegashima, Tokyo is crazy bright.
Aki-chan, 起きて。もうすぐ着くよ。
I shake her shoulder lightly.
おはよう。腰が痛い。
なんちゃくだな、お前ら。
Michi turns on the blinkers. The truck carrying both us and Model 2 moves into the Odaiba interchange exit lane. Reporting an update for the spread of the Kimijima reports. As of February 17th, 2020, 67% have spread worldwide. Total completion, 11%. Germany, past 80%. Thailand, confirmed start of spread. America, 34% complete, showing a high percentage. Okay, that's good. Or bad, I don't know. I don't even know. GS. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what that means. GS BFR. It's early in the morning here in Odaiba, and Akio is already yelling. She just hit peak energy levels, like her drowsiness from earlier was just a lie. Well, a lot happened in the last month. I get how she feels. Subaru's accident, Mizuka-san's death, the destruction of the robot club. And despite all of that, she dove deep into repairing Model 2 so that she could see her dream through to the end. The VP was enraged every time she ran into Akio. The other students at school would talk crap about her behind her back. Akio knew this had happened. She knew she was being selfish. She said so herself, but she saw things through anyways. And she just barely made it in time for the expo. But if this is her level of energy after getting to Tokyo, she's not gonna last very long. Akio's shout from the soul draws the looks of people nearby. It's still early, but there are already lots of salarymen and office ladies commuting to work on foot. They all give Akio irritated looks. I was supposed to say irradiated looks before hastily walking away. They seem to be on edge. Yeah, well, yeah, you know, with the blackout, like fairly recent blackout of the entire city. Is it because today's a weekday? Yeah, that's why. That's definitely why. I guess from the perspective of an adult citygoer, some country bumpkin yelling in the morning would be pretty annoying. At the very least, if I was in their position, I'd be annoyed. Yeah, I think it's been a couple months, but I think the blackout and the robot attacks probably still has a couple of people on edge. Just a couple. Just a couple. Akio doesn't seem to notice the atmosphere around her. With a light step, she heads towards the expo arena. It feels weird not looking for Kimijima reports anymore. It feels weird now that we've found them all. Like, it's like the end of an era. Hi. Hello. Behave yourself. She's right. Expo ads and posters stand out prominently all over the city. It's supposed to be a big event. But it's nowhere near as hustling and bustling as when we first came for Robo 1. The train station is closed down too. Gotcha. It's an AR annotation message. They even go out of their way to recommend taking the subway or a bus as an alternative. Just a slightly unusual thing we noticed amidst all the normality. That's more than enough to remind us that the scars from the solar disturbance a few months ago remain. And according to the Kimijima reports, one of equal or greater size is set to arrive this year. Just imagining it gives me a slight chill. As we near the expo arena, there are fewer and fewer people. Well, we've still got a little under a week left before the show starts. Sky? The expo arena is actually divided into two arenas, Sky and Aqua. Last year, Robo 1 was held in Aqua. Sky was still under construction at the time. Use of Expo Arena Sky is restricted, in part to conserve electricity. At the start of the year, the governor said so. Originally, both Sky and Aqua were going to be used for giant robot exhibits from around the world. But it's been unexpectedly hard to get enough giant robots to fill the arenas, so both venues weren't needed. Aqua alone is pretty large after all, and while the world might be in the middle of a robot boom, well, given these trying times, there are a lot fewer companies and people that can afford to build giant robots. And it's not like they're all building robots specifically for the expo like us. But it's still kind of ironic that an expo arena isn't being used for the expo. Oh my god, that's really cool actually. I like the green one. Hi! Hi! The moment she sets foot into the arena, Akio lets out a strange voice. Giant robots around 10 meters in height stand inside the arena. Over 10 of them even. If you include those still under assembly and those yet to arrive, that number will get bigger. Gathered in this arena are giant robots that are currently in development around the world as of 2020. I'm sure it'll be quite the spectacle when the full lineup is here. It's pretty amazing to think that the Robot Club's robot will be included among them. Reality finally hits me. I want to know what the functionality of that green one is. Like, I assume it looks like a frog, so maybe the little hop.
Aki-chan, yodare deteru yo.
感動しちゃって。どれもクオリティ高すぎるよ。プロの仕事ってすごいよ。かっこよかったり、可愛かったり、みんな個性的で、まるでロボットアニメの中に入ってきたみたい。当たり前のようにたくさんの大きなロボットがそこにいて、当たり前のように動くんだよ。それがフィクションじゃなくなったんだから。 涙出てきちゃった。これだけロボがいれば前期で力を合わせて地球防衛軍だって結成できるね。
戦う相手なんていないでしょ。宇宙人が攻めてくるとでも。
Besides, they aren't built for combat.
それ以前に宇宙人どころか現実に存在してる戦車とか戦闘機にも普通に負けるだろうね。
それはどうかな。性能の違いが戦力の決定的差ではないということを教えてやる。
性能差っていうより相性の悪さだよ。二足歩行の人型ロボは戦車や戦闘機相手だと相性が悪すぎる。
Tanks have long-range cannons. Fighter jets can hit and run. There's no way to deal with either. I doubt there's any opponent at all that humanoid robots have a clear advantage over. Anyway, there's no point in seriously thinking about this. Giant robots that appear in robot anime are always loaded with super tech from another dimension or whatever. They're not damaged when enemies hit them with attacks. That's got nothing to do with toughness, it's fantasy. It's still early in the morning, but the venue is already packed with a decent number of people. I see a lot of foreigners too. They must be servicing staff that came along with their respective giant robots. The enthusiasm in the air is tangible. Every person here is one of the top robot engineers in the world. Is it really okay for total amateurs like us to walk among such amazing people?
見て。
Akio tugs on my shirt sleeve and points at a certain robot. Ooh. Kinda looks like Omega. It's a large black, multi-legged robot that looks like a spider. Considering how most of the other robots are bipedal, its frame is rather unusual.
エグゾスケルトン社のロボだよ。
そうなの。
コンセプトモデル、名前はスメラギって言うんだって。
The hatch on its torso is open, and what seems to be its cockpit is exposed. Is it really okay to openly display a company secret like this? The cockpit is just large enough to fit one person. Oh yeah, it says, there's a thing, it says 002 Hug X. So, that's concerning. I've come to not really trust the hugs very much. Judging by its design, it's the kind of control system where you stand inside of it. There's an apparatus to secure the waist, and it seems to have master-slave gloves for the arms. You stick your hands into them to operate it? It's got 6 legs, so how does that work?
元々のハグとは随分違うね。これが介護補助にどう役立つんだろう。それともついに方針転換することにしたのかな。
だからただのコンセプトモデルだってば。今回の万博のためだけに開発した試作機みたいな意味なの。こんなのも作れますよみたいなアピールだよ。
Hugs were originally developed for medical support, but due to their versatility, they're used elsewhere. Also, again, not really that trustworthy at this point. They've been adopted as sports and police equipment. They're even supplied to some military units. Which is why I'm thinking that this spider robot might have been developed for military use. Himijima reports named the exoskeleton company as a manufacturer tied to the Committee of 300 too. I can't help but view this thing in a negative light. Also, considering what... Yeah, well... Don't trust that company. At all. And of course, the high school girl next to me has a glimmer in her eyes.
お姉ちゃんはさすがにいないか。
The exoskeleton company booth isn't just the spider. They'll be showing off the latest hug model, for example. Lots of staff are busily constructing the space. However, there's no sight of Misane among them.
Oi!
This guy. He's back. When we reach our booth spot, Michi and Mr. Candy, the Nagafukata family combo, are waiting for us. The booth space allocated to us hasn't been prepped at all yet, so it's just kind of sad to look at. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Candy was set to arrive in Tokyo yesterday by plane. I thought he withdrew his sponsorship, especially after Subaru's accident, but upon learning that Akio hadn't given up, he offered his help once again. Considering how much he'd already invested, he didn't have much more money to offer. Though if anything, we're grateful that he offered manpower over cash. Model 2 was split between 2 large trucks for the transport. The drivers were Michi and a Space Candy employee. On top of that, he hired several workers to assemble Model 2 here at the venue. Thus, the Space Candy's logo is still stuck prominently to Model 2's body.
待っとったぞアキオちゃんカイト君長旅ご苦労ご苦労
He uses his big hands to slap me and Akiho on the back.
いよいよ我が社のスペースアメが東京の地でそのインパクトを轟かせる日が来たんじゃな
That word has lost all meaning at this point.
いいかよいら生き魂を見せたれ
Exactly what kind of spirit is that?
よーしお前らトラックは2台とも搬入口につけてあるから今日中に運び込むぞ
In order to transport Model 2, we basically had to completely take it apart. We have 5 days to do this. And then it's game time.
ここが当面の間のお前らの宿だ
Okay. Just very excited. I hope this goes well. I mean, I keep saying that. I hope it goes well. I hope everything goes well. It hasn't exactly thus far. I hope things work out. That night, after going out for tasty yakiniku with Mr. Candy, Michi brought us here. It's a super high-class hotel right in front of Odaiba Station, a stone's throw away from the expo arena. After checking in at the front desk, Michi puffs up his chest with pride at us.
何アホ面してやがんだ先生はな今回に関してはかなり頑張って宿を取ってやったんだぞロボワンの時お前らから散々文句言われて先生はむちゃくちゃ傷ついたんだこれ豆な
ミッチーはそんな繊細な心の持ち主じゃないでしょ
確かにこのホテルはすごいけどすごく高そうだよこんなところに半年近くも滞在できるの
おいおい半年もホテル住まいするつもりとかどこのセレブだお前ら予約したのは2週間分だけだっつうの
That's all, eh?
それでも50万近くかかったんだぞ分かってんのか
島の宿なら1泊5000円とかが普通なのに
金は先生のポケットマネーから出てる感謝しろ
そりゃ嘘だねどうせアメ社長に出してもらったとかそんなところじゃないの
さあな
50万もあるなら無理せずに安いところを長く借りればよかったのにこんな高級なところ逆に落ち着かないよ
そもそも2週間ここに泊まった後はどうするわけ
If it were anyone else, I would say maybe he had his reasons, but it's Michi.
その後はないいかよーく聞いとけよズバリ人脈を頼る東京在住のロボ部 OB/OG 連中がいるだろう瀬宮姉とかあと後輩連中だと宮田とか柳本あたりが東京住まいだったはずだ
We've never met anyone named Miyata or Yanagimoto.
そいつらの家に押しかける
I was a fool for hoping.
計画性ゼロってことじゃないの何が頑張っただよ
心配すんなその辺の交渉は先生がしてきてやるから
Comforting. Which means he hasn't said a word to them yet.
お姉ちゃんのところには明日行ってみるつもり住まわせてもらえるかどうかも聞いてみる
よしいいぞじゃあそっちは任せる先生は他の連中に連絡取ってみるからよというわけでほれ
He hands me the room key.
しばらく戻ってこないかもしれんが万博の開幕日には顔出すからよ
でどこ行くつもり
大人にはないろいろやることがあるんだよこれ豆な会場にはおじきやバイト連中がいるし別に問題ないだろじゃあなしっかり休め
ミッチちょっと
Michi waves his hand and exits the lobby without listening to Akio's attempts to stop him.
信じられない
That's Michi.
スバルの事故の時あれだけ監督不行き届きだなんだって土下座してたのに監督するつもりなんて全くないんじゃん
He hasn't learned his lesson at all.
OB と交渉してくるっていうのもどこまで本当なんだか。実は東京観光したいだけなのかもね。
やっぱり頼りにならないな。でも前みたいにいきなり路頭に迷わずに済んでよかった。こんな都会っぽいホテルに泊まるの実は密かに憧れだったんだ。そのことだけはミッチーに感謝しとこうっと。あれカイどうしたの？表情が引きつってるけど。
アキちゃん楽しみにしてるところ悪いんだけどさ、俺今気づいちゃったんだよね。
I hold up the room key at eye level. Oh god.
ミッチ
Did he mess?
鍵を一つしか渡してくれなかった。
つまり
予約した部屋は一つだけっぽい。
Oh no. Awkward. The moment I enter the room, I'm overwhelmed by the excessive extravagance. And this is apparently the cheapest level of room at this hotel. Tokyo is terrifying. What the hell do the suites look like? Anyway, after taking a look around the room, both of our eyes are naturally drawn to the same place.
カイベッドが一つしかないよ。
Kai's sleeping on the bed, or on the couch.
これってさ、ダブルベッドってやつじゃない？二人用のベッドだよ。
なるほど。
Or maybe not. I don't know. This silence is really awkward. This situation is a bit awkward. I look out the window. In the dark, it's like the expo arena is floating. The light leaking out tells the story of people still working there.
うちはいいよ。
Oh my god, correct me if I'm wrong, if I have the calendar wrong, but it's Valentine's Day. Of course it is. You have this like
うちは
awkward, there's only one bed, there's only one room. Of course it happens on Valentine's Day.
ああ、別に問題なし。
We've been together since forever. There's nothing at all weird about sleeping in the same bed together. A little bit.
よかった。
I mean, by all means, if they're, you know... Akio glances bashfully at me, then dives into the bed. I guess it's only awkward if you make it awkward, right?
すごいよ。ふかふか。
She then rolls over and stretches out.
カイもやる？
試してみようかな。
I quietly lie down next to Akio.
確かにふかふかだ。寝心地よすぎて逆に落ち着かない。
うん。
はあ。
The room is quiet. There's a highway running next to the hotel, but thanks to the solid soundproofing, I can't hear a thing. Which means the only thing I can hear is our breathing. It almost feels like we're the only ones in the entire world. There's no place on the island that's this quiet. It's not like it's super loud there with cars, planes, and people. It's not. Instead, it's the constant sounds of nature, the sound of the wind blowing, trees rustling, and insects chirping.
ねえ、カイ。
ん？
島のみんな怒ってるかな。うちらだけでガンツク2を持って東京に来たことはみんな怒ってるよね。
It is a bad look. I'm not gonna lie. It's not great. I don't necessarily disagree.
だとしても構わない。
Not a good look.
覚悟して出てきたんでしょ。
うん。
But at this point, I am down to help her see her dream through. You know,
なんだか
dreams and all that.
遠いところまで来ちゃったな。
早いところ次の泊まるところを見つけないとね。ミッチーは当てにならない。
そうだね。明日お姉ちゃんに会えるかな。
The plan is to drop by her place. We made that decision before coming out here. We left messages on her voicemail and some texts too. But in the end, she never got back to either of us. Shocker.
会えるなら、アキちゃんは何年ぶり
7年。
そう。
They were so close when she was still on the island. What happened?
早く会いたいな。それでね、ここまで来たよっていうの。カイと一緒にいろんな人の協力があってここまで来られたよって伝えるの。
はあ。
That'd be one hell of a heartwarming sight. Even way back in the day, seeing the two of them always put a smile on my face. However, I have more serious business with Misane. I have to challenge her at Kill Ballad. Something that I doubt Akio would like very much. I don't like the thought of ruining Akio's smile. It didn't take long for all the excitement to take its toll on Akio. She's fast asleep. Aww. Jeez, she looks totally defenseless like that. Don't make it weird, Kaito. Don't make it weird. She never even considered the possibility that I could be some creeper dude. Yeah, good. Reward her trust by not being a creeper dude. Of course, I'm not. I'm not that guy. Jeez, look at me getting all nervous thanks to Michi's blockheadedness. I'll never get to the top like this. Hell, Nison will probably pass me in the rankings. Oh, is it? Yeah. No time to keep up the...
じゃあ
Oh. This girl really does have a sister complex. I impulsively give her cheek a gentle stroke. She's just too charming. Okay. It's warm, soft, and smooth.
明日、ミサ姉に会えるといいね。
Then Akio suddenly grabs the hand I was using to stroke her cheek with both hands.
起きた
She's fast asleep. She starts brushing her cheek against my hand like a cat. Given how comfy she looks, I decide to leave her be. I want to grab some sleep too, but I'm not actually that tired yet. I guess I'll just play some KB and... Right, I can't play Kill Ballad with one hand.
なんてこった。
I sigh and close my eyes. As much as I want to, it might be nice to get some sleep without playing KB. Now that's character development. I hear a sound. It's the sound of rain. I guess it's storming outside. In that case, I gotta go to school by bus. So I have to leave earlier than usual and meet Akio at the stop. Wait, my bed is crazy soft. Was it ever this comfy? My alarm clock hasn't rung. What time is it right now? When I open my eyes, I'm greeted by an unfamiliar ceiling. Oh, right. This isn't Tanegashima. It's a hotel room in Tokyo. I finally remember the situation I'm in. I don't have to go to school. Thank goodness. I close my eyes to go back to sleep, then open them immediately. Akio should be sleeping next to me, but she's nowhere to be found. Also, despite the sounds of rain, there's sunlight beaming in through the window. I don't think it's rain. That's... She working on something? She like... Oh, Akio must be... Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Must be taking a shower. It's 7 in the morning according to the clock. She's sure up early. Must be excited. Oh my god, if it's Michi... if Michi comes out of the shower... That'd be so funny. I close my eyes and listen to the sounds of the shower. My brain still isn't running right. I could probably sleep for another hour. Then I'll take a shower myself. Nice hot shower.
カイもしもーし
He
頑
fall-
張るグランドタッ
Did he fall back asleep? Something crashes on top of my body, knocking the wind out of me. I open my eyes and to find Akio hanging over me. Also, Tweepo. England past 80%. I think that's the wrong past, but over. Egypt past 40%, 50%. Kazakhstan confirmed start of spread. It's going. They're going. When our eyes meet, she gives me a satisfied smile.
おはよ
おはよう。重いからどいてくれない？
I sluggishly lift my body as she frees me.
いきなり何するんだよ。
カイって眠りが深いんだね。結構いろいろいたずらしたのにちっとも起きなかったよ。
I don't like the way she phrased that.
おいおい、何したわけ？
昔と同じだよ。ほっぺたツンツンしたりとか、髪の毛ぐしゃぐしゃしてみたりとか、鼻をつまんでみたりとか。
She just let a poor guy sleep in peace.
俺をアキちゃん家にあるジオングと一緒にしないでくれない？
Xiong? Xiong is the name of a big cushion in Akio's room. I have some questions about her naming sense, but whatever, she seems to really like it. I still don't know exactly what it is. The only thing I know is that the white cushion has a strange face drawn on it.
さあ、そろそろ起きて。シャワー浴びておいでよ。それから朝ごはん食べに行こう。今日はお姉ちゃんに会うんだから、カイもちゃんとおめかしすること。
はいはい。
My best, eh? She's hyped. But the more hopeful you are, the more painful the disappointment is when things don't go right. I take a look at my phone droid. There's still no response from Misane. Misane's apartment is in Aoyama. After taking a bus to Shibuya, we took the wrong train and wandered all over Tokyo on the verge of tears. After going through Ikebukuro and Ginza before getting back to Shibuya, we gave up and called a cab. It took 2 hours to get to a place that would normally take 30 minutes. As for her apartment building, well, the entrance had an auto lock, and no matter how many times we dialed her room number, Misane never answered. We couldn't get in touch with her on our phone droids either. With little choice, we waited there for 4 to 5 hours, but it was pointless. Wow. Rude. She even tried to get a hold of her on Tweepo. That's funny. Aww. We returned to Odaiba and grabbed a late lunch. By which I mean we went to the same burger joint we hit up last year.
大人はみんな忙しすぎてダメだよね。
Akio sighs while chewing on french fries.
うちらなんかよりよっぽど自分勝手で心
That's gonna be the name of my autobiography. Sighs and french fries.
ミッチーだってどっか行ったまま帰ってこないし、振り回されるうちらの身になってほしいよ。
アキちゃんさ、ちょっと愚痴っぽくなってきてるよ。
This is what happens when you get too hopeful. I prepared myself for the worst case scenario, so I'm not particularly shocked by today's outcome.
カイ、あのね、お姉ちゃんって本当に生きてるのかな？
は？
That's an interesting question. I end up staring at her in wide-eyed amazement in response to her absurd question.
あ、いや、そんなわけはないんだろうけど。でも、電話もメールもよこしてくれないんだよ。見るのはテレビを通してだけ。水か姉のお葬式に弔電をよこしたりもしてたし、存在してるのは間違いないんだろうけど、まるで実態がつかめないの。 近くに感じないの。だからたまにね、思っちゃうんだ。電話していつもみたいに通じなかった時なんかに。お姉ちゃんらしき人がいても、お姉ちゃんはもう存在しないんじゃないかって。
Is she talking like body snatcher?
こりゃ深刻だね。ついにアキちゃんがおかしくなったか。
だって
Misane doesn't exist, huh? I know that's not possible. I know for a fact she's still alive. I never told Akio about how I spoke to Misane once last summer.
だってだとしたら、ここまで会えない理由って他に一つしかなくなっちゃうじゃん。お姉ちゃんに避けられてるなんて、うち考えたくないよ。
Here we go.
ほら、ナゲットあげるから。
Nugget. Nuggets make everything better.
あのね、うちを何だと思ってるの？真剣に悩んでるの。ナゲット一つで元気になんかならないから。
じゃあいらないの？
いるけど。
Gimme. Akio grabs one of the nuggets from my tray and tosses it into her mouth.
そうめげなくてもいいんじゃない？チャンスはいくらでもあるよ。万博は長いからね。エグスケ社だって万博には出てるわけでしょ。それならあれだけ有名なミサ姉も一度は顔を出す。ミサ姉が会場に来ればそれだけで話題になる。俺たちはこれから毎日会場にいるわけだし、ミサ姉が来たと分かったら即突撃すればいい。
妹なのにそこまでしないと会えないなんて、なんか寂しいな。
She says as she sips on her cola loudly.
でもカイの言う通りだね。チャンスはいくらでもある。うん、その日が来るまでうち全力で突き進むよ。まずは開幕までにガンツク2の組み立てだ。
She suddenly stands up and shouts, prompting the other customers to customers around us to give us strange looks. Give her strange look. God, I can read.
すいません。
I'm such a good reader. The next day, I take some time off in the afternoon and head back to Shibuya. This is my second time in Tokyo, but my first time traveling alone here. Akio seems suspicious, but I managed to dodge her questions. My destination? A certain hospital. Why? Oh, is he gonna check on Irie? I heard that Irie Yukifune is hospitalized there. At the nurse's station, I asked for a room number. It's on the top floor, in the far corner of this giant building. I knock, but there's no answer. Upon knocking again, I'm still met with silence, so I slowly open the door. Our eyes meet. Sitting atop the bed is a lone girl staring at me. I steel myself and fully open the door.
入っても？
It's gonna be a little I'm curious if he's actually gonna try and explain like how he knows her. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The girl, Irie Yukifune, nods her head ever so slightly. The room is totally barren. There's one bed, a TV, and a shelf. She doesn't even have any flowers at her bedside. It's undeniable. The girl in bed is Irie. The thawing process must have been a success. Before coming to the hospital room, the doctor in charge of her explained it to me in detail. She's in good health. It is really sad though, because that means like nobody's visiting her, because the only people who knew her were like her mom and Kimijima. Kimijima died and her mom walked off. So like nobody knows her. That's really sad. She'll have to stay here for a while due to her prior disease, but the cold sleep left no after effects of note. Irie exists. She's right here. She has a real body. She's breathing. She really exists. As someone who spent half a year with her AI equivalent, you can imagine just how profound this is for me. I want to try touching... Don't do that. Her hair, her skin, don't do that. I don't mean that in a lewd way. It's a pure desire to confirm that she's really there, that she exists. Touching her through the LCD monitor of my phone droid, Irie was always hard. She's actually 25 years old. The same age as Michi, Misane, and Mizuka-san. But she looks like a junior high kid, and I feel like mentally she is too, because she's sleeping for 10 years. But that's all because she was that age when she entered cold sleep. So, like, for all intents and purposes, she's 15. Let's keep that in mind. I gotta say, meeting her like this is kind of anticlimactic. She might be the first human subject to experience artificial cold sleep in all of history, after all. I figured she'd be surrounded by scientists all day, every day, cords connected to her and gathering data. Irie, or should I call her Irie-san? Seems guarded, especially after my sudden visit. Yeah, she doesn't know you, dude. I have to remind myself. This isn't the same Irie-san that I knew for half a year. Of course she wouldn't know me.
ごめん。なんて自己紹介すればいいかな。俺、装置の中で眠ってる君を見つけて。
That's a fair way to
君を目覚めさせるきっかけを作った
introduce yourself.
ってことになるのかな。
Yeah. This is kind of a weird self-intro. Better than saying, like, I knew you as an AI for half a year. Glad he didn't go that route.
迷惑をおかけして。
あ、いや。
Irie-san's expression is dim. Maybe she didn't want to wake up. Almost 10 years have gone by, but if they haven't found a cure for her illness yet, this was all pointless. Which would make me a real jerk for dragging her out of that thing. According to the doctor in charge, her mom's whereabouts are unknown. No family has come to visit her. She's all alone in this world. The Irie-san of today leapt forward 10 years into a completely foreign world. When I think about it that way, the inside of my chest throbs with pain. What have I done? Our conversation fizzles out quickly. Of course it does. We don't share anything in common. Naturally, she doesn't have any AI memories. But even still...
顔を見に来ただけだから。辛いかもしれないけど、元気そうでよかったよ。それじゃあ帰るんで。迷惑だろうから、もう二度と顔は出さないよ。
I do my best to force out a smile as I try to leave the room.
はい？
お名前を聞かせてくれませんか？
ヤシオカイト。
ヤシオカイトさん。来てくれてありがとう。目覚めてから面会に来てくれたのはあなたが初めてでした。
また来ても
いいんです。大丈夫ですから。
She doesn't want me to worry about her, huh? I should probably swing by every so often.
最後に一つだけ。今日の天気わかる
Irie-san tilts her head. She looks outside the window, then back in my direction.
外は晴れてるみたいですけど。
そう。どうも。
Unable to endure it any longer, I leave the hospital room as though I'm running away from something. That's certainly a weird question considering you're going outside, but I get it. I'm back in Odaiba, but I don't feel like heading over to Akiho yet. On the way to the arena, I gaze out at the flow of cars from a bridge above the highway. Ooh. What? All worried by myself. Makes me think the amount come back. Oh boy. Don't worry. I'll be back soon. I hope she was referring to Kaito, otherwise that response is awkward.
ゲジネいる？ゲジネ？
Weird, she always responds when I call out to her. I boot up Iruo in my phone droid. As far as I can tell, there's no sign of Gejine anywhere nearby. She's still linked to my phone droid, so she should be able to appear here, not just on Tanegashima. If nothing else, I know she was with me at least 2 days before I left. I mean, if the Kimijima reports have spread worldwide, can't she go anywhere now? Anywhere they are? I just thought of that. Can't she because they said it wasn't just the reports, the AR annotations are gonna pop up randomly all over the world. So she can go wherever she wants. That's kind of huge. I don't know why I didn't think of that before.
Oi, Gejine.
I call out to her again, but she still doesn't respond. This has never happened before. Did they do more maintenance? Did she get erased? With the Kimijima reports public, the Committee of 300 may have pressured Happiness for You to erase her. It's possible. There was a time in which having Irie and Gejine around all the time was kind of a bother, but, well, now that they're not here anymore, it's kind of lonely. Alright, it's gonna bother me if I don't grab this. Great. Just, you know, I saw him. No, I just, you know. Alright. I'm sure Akio is doing her best to assemble Model 2 right now. I should help out at least a little this time. I tuck away my phone droid and head for the expo arena. That reminds me, I wonder if they sell Skull in Tokyo. I'll swing by a convenience store on the way over. For several days afterward, I forget Misane, Irie, and Gejine, instead focusing on constructing Model 2. I'm not used to assembly work, so it took everything I had to do the work Akio ordered me to do. I'm pretty incompetent in basically everything aside from fighting games. Mr. Candy stood by and watched as I worked, occasionally scolding me and yelling things like, "Not enough impact!" Oh boy. That brings us to the present, the day before the expo opens. Alright, alright. 70% have spread worldwide. We're getting there. Total completion 12%. Netherlands 80%. Ivory Coast 60%. Completion rankings. First Japan, second America, third France. Alright. I like how there's a ranking system. Makes it more of a game. Except the criticism this one has gone viral because it's my favorite robot anime. Oh. The date is about to change over. Akio bows her head to me and the other workers who have gathered around. What was the hardest thing about assembling Model 2? The fact that it can't be assembled standing up. The TNSC had a ceiling crane, but unfortunately this venue has nothing that convenient. Which obviously means that since it's assembled lying down, we had to figure out a way to stand it up. With the booths around us basically finished, we couldn't bring a crane in. While we were on the island, we had Frau add a motion that would allow it to crouch from a sleeping position. Frau was against us forcing our way into the expo, but she still agreed to help us out. Since Juno was unavailable, the motion was designed entirely by Frau. As a last resort, we moved the parabolic antenna to the waist, allowing Model 2 to be powered even while lying down. Akio triumphantly pulls something out. It's a tube about 1 meter in length. It's also equipped with a trigger. Oh, the new laser beam. Akio puts it up on her shoulder and poses. The thick cord extending from the end of the tube is connected to a large power generator next to it. Akio has everyone stand back before she starts transmitting power to the parabolic antenna. It is a little scary, like even with safeties and so it can't fire when it's pointing not at the thing. I feel like it's still scary to have like a laser gun. It's a laser gun. It like will fry your insides. That's terrifying. Glaring laser light silently surges from the end of the tube.
カイ、ガンツク2の電源入れて。
As ordered, I turn the robot's power to on from my phone droid. Simultaneously, Model 2's motors enter their neutral positions and lock up.
それじゃあ起こして。
Model 2's control priority is currently with my phone droid. Rise up and crouch is a single moveset. Inputting one command will make it perform the moves in succession.
行くよ。
I quickly input the command. Model 2 then raises both its knees and uses its arms to nimbly transition into a crouching position. Not bad?
うまくいった。
Still has the face. Of course it does. Of course it does. Mr. Candy and the rest of the workers applaud for us.
なかなかのインパクトじゃ。
Alright.
ロボの胸に燦然と輝く我がスペースアメのロゴ。これで東京での一般流通に載せられるな。
By the way, there's no Space Candy logo if you look at AR gun barrel and VA Aero. I don't think something tells me no one told him that. Now that Model 2 is safely crouched down, Akio moves the parabolic antenna, bringing today's work to an end. All that's left is to wait until the main event. This also means all the workers are done as well. We politely thank them all, and they pack up and leave. Mr. Candy apparently has a business meeting to attend, so he leaves as well. Only Akio and I are left. We both look up at Model 2. What a sight. Model 2 is stable and on standby in its crouching position. But man, it's neither cute nor cool. Regardless, even though I only really helped out at the end, even despite how lame it looks, I feel attached to this dude.
スバルにも見せてあげた。
I think we've established that Model 2-chan is a girl? Come on now. Akio mutters softly.
スバルだけじゃない。ジュンやフラウボーやドクやナイさんやお父さんやこのガンツク2のために協力してくれたすべての人に見せてあげたかったな。
明日開幕したらしっかりパフォーマンスしてアピールすればいい。それが認められたらきっと取材も来るだろうし、それが島でも流れるかもよ。
それはたぎるな。そうなってくれるといいね。
注目されればミサ姉だって気づいてくれるだろうし。
うん、そうだね。
Akio then stretches her arms out. It's like she's trying to blow away all the uncertainty in her heart.
スタッフジャンパーとか用意しておけばよかったな。アメ社長に頼んで作ってもらえないかな。ってダメか。それじゃあ普通にスペースアメ社のスタッフジャンパーになっちゃいそう。
アキちゃんが学校の制服着るのはやめようって言うからだよ。
だって一応うちらは中種ロボ部じゃなくて元ロボ部なんだし。
Central T? Oh yeah, that's her abbreviation for Central Tanegashima High.
教頭先生に反対されちゃってるんだし、さすがに学校の名前背負っては出られないよ。
へえ、アキちゃんがそこまで考えてたなんてちょっと驚きかも。
これ以上は誰かに迷惑かけたくないから。
Akio smiles sadly.
ねえ、カイ、一緒に来てくれてありがとう。これからもよろしくね。
少なくとも万博が終わる半年後までは付き合うよ。俺はアキちゃんとの勝負に負けた身だからね。
うちらは最高のパートナーってことで、例えるならノアとアスマ、うちがアスマでカイがノア。性別逆だけどね。
Noah? Asuma?
ってカイに言ってもわかんないか。
悪いね、これが俺なんで。
うん、いいよ。
Akio laughs, then takes her usual stance.
疾風怒涛だ。元気一発頑張れる。
I don't think Aki-chan will ever get tired of yelling that line.
ほら叫んでないで、明日に備えてホテルに戻るよ。
あ、待ってよ。
Akio hurriedly chases after me as I start walking off. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited. It's finally happening. Tomorrow, Tokyo Expo 2020 begins. Ooh boy.
カイ、
Oh no.
カイ、
Are we having nightmares? I hear a voice. A voice calling to me. I can just barely see something in the darkness. Legs. Legs wearing a white hug. Don't look white to me. For some reason, everything from their waist up is shrouded in darkness. The silhouette is hard to make out. I know it's Mizuka-san, but I can't see her face.
どうしてあの時助けてくれなかった。
Oh boy.
目の前で見てたのに冷たいじゃないか。どうして見捨てたのさ。
I tried to save you, but I couldn't. There was nothing I could do by myself. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I couldn't save you. Deep within my heart, I cry. I cry and apologize over and over again. Then, the figure wearing the white hug vanishes. Wearing the hug vanishes. It definitely wasn't white. It was red. I assume from the blood. She suddenly disappears from my sight. Just like how it happened before, I can still clearly remember Mizuka-san's unmoving form below the cliff. When the accident happened, when I saw Mizuka-san's final moments, I realized something. All the news I saw on TV and on the net about solar disturbances hitting Tokyo and other countries, the rampaging hugs, I had thought it all to be someone else's problem. I was convinced that the flames would never reach me, but I was wrong. I realized that I'd been naive. Tanegashima is a part of Tokyo and the rest of the world. It's not someone else's problem. It's not a story inside a video game. It's all part of reality.
言ったはずよ。
In place of Mizuka-san's hug, I hear another voice from the depths of darkness.
もしこれ以上関わるならきっと後悔することになるって。
Stop.
後悔したでしょ。
Please, just stop.
あなたが忠告を聞かないからよ。
カイ、
When I open my eyes, I'm back in the hotel room. I'm breathing heavily. My whole body is soaked in sweat. My heart is pounding, and I'm worried I'll have an attack.
カイ、大丈夫？
Akio is sleeping next to me in the dark room. She gives me a worried look. She's sleeping, but she's, like, fully decked in winter gear. That's funny to me. It was all just a dream. I take a deep breath.
嫌な夢だった。
But maybe that's how I truly feel somewhere deep down. As much as it pains me to admit it, I'm growing suspicious of her. Just that thought alone makes my heart feel like it's being torn open. I feel nauseous. Both my body and mind are trying to deny this truth as vehemently as possible.
昨日も一昨日もその前の日も一緒にここで寝泊まりするようになってからカイは毎晩うなされてるよ。
マジ？
I had no idea. Akio grabs my arm tightly. She presses her forehead against my neck. I can feel her breathing and warmth against my skin.
カイっていつもヘラヘラしててあんまり何を考えてるか本心を表に出さないよね。苦しい時は苦しいって言った方がいいよ。うちはカイに弱音を聞いてもらってるからだいぶ助けられてるけど、カイはちゃんとガス抜きできてる？
アキちゃんが心配することじゃないよ。
うちにも弱音ぶつけてほしいよ。カイが苦しいなら力になりたいもん。うちなんかじゃ力になれるかどうかはわからないけど、それでも
じゃあさ、もう今夜は眠れそうにないんで、徹夜で起きてるのに付き合ってくれない？
あ、うん、そういうことならうちに任せてよ。
Akio jumps from bed and grabs her phone droid. She begins fiddling with it.
徹夜するときにうってつけのものがあるんだ。テンションも上がって一石二鳥なんだよ。
There's only one thing that could get Akio so excited.
まさか。
It's time. Akio turns her phone droid screen to me. Gun Barrel Anime's opening starts playing.
徹夜で視聴マラソン。
はあ、アキちゃんらしいよ。
実はうちもね、さっきから興奮しすぎてちっとも眠れなかったんだ。だから一緒に見よう。
はいはい、分かったからあんまり大声出さないように。深夜だから響くでしょうが。
本当はね、お菓子とかあるとバッチリなんだけど、深夜に食べたりしたら太っちゃうから我慢我慢。
Akio sadly, what? I can read! Akio happily sits up in bed right next to me. We sit shoulder to shoulder, our legs sprawled out. It doesn't really make sense for the two of us to try and watch on a single tiny phone droid screen.
ちなみに全話見るのはさすがに1日じゃ無理だから、とりあえず最高傑作と言われてる第2シーズンを見ることにするね。それでも朝までに最後まで見られるかどうか微妙だけど。カイ、第1シーズンの話は覚えてる？
いや、全然。
何度も見せたのに。じゃあ簡単にうちがあらすじを説明してあげよう。
Akio's lively voice slowly dissipates the dark, murky feeling that had built up in my chest. I'm starting to calm down again. I guess everyone's got to release some stress every once in a while. The tension begins to leave my body. I breathe a sigh of relief and lean up against Akio's shoulder.
カイ？
俺汗臭い？
平気。
じゃあそのまま解説続けてよ。
Man, he really does look just burnt out. As I listen to Akio's voice, I close my eyes. If we stay up all night, will we be okay tomorrow? We gotta watch out for those pesky attacks of ours, after all. Well, I'm sure things will work out. Right now, I just feel like listening to Akio's voice like this for a while. Oh.
はい、私は今東京お台場にある万博アリーナに来ています。
Where's the green one? Where's the green frog?
見て
Whoa.
ください、この長蛇の列。ものすごい人の数です。今日ここで何が行われるのかと言いますと、
Achillesimo? Oh, that's awful. I hate that name.
そう、
Because I can't pronounce it.
東京万博2020夢創造博が始まるんです。
Achillesimo. Yeah, I don't like it.
昨年11月、太陽嵐災害が関東地方を襲い、大きな被害を受けました。万博も開催中止寸前まで行ったということなんですが、その困難を乗り越え、こうして無事開幕を迎えたんです。万博は品川会場、豊洲会場、お台場会場と都内の計3カ所で行われるわけですが、中でも一番の注目がここお台場会場なんですよ。今回の万博に合わせて羽田、お台場、東京駅、成田を直接結ぶアクアライナーも開業し、すでに始発から超満員です。さあ、その万博お台場会場の見どころなんですけれども、ず ズバリ大きなロボットです。今回の東京万博は別名ロボット万博とも呼ばれているほどでして、今世界中で競って開発されている巨大二足歩行ロボットたちがこの会場に勢ぞろいしているんですね。まさに夢の共演、大きなロボットの祭典、アニメの世界に入り込んでしまったような気分が味わえますよ。ファンファーレです。たった今開幕を告げるファンファーレが会場に流れ始めました。そして大きな拍手とともに入場ゲートが開きました。お客さんたちが続々と入っていきます。東京万博2020、今開幕です。
Just like on the news, guests begin to flood into the arena. Our booth is on the edge of the building, so most of the crowd has yet to get to our end. I see parents and children, couples, and groups of men pass along the aisle in front of me. Everyone is stunned. They're all looking upward. Other robots have already started their performances. The various exhibits each have a pretty large chunk of space. Each booth is about 30 square meters. Exhibitors are free to perform however they like. That said, dangerous materials and fire are prohibited. From our booth, I can see the other exhibitors' robots walking, moving their limbs, transforming and dancing. They serve to remind me of the gap between us. The stuff the pros paid for and made are on another level. The guests who came to visit are enjoying themselves while watching said performances. But sadly, we don't have a single guest hanging around at our booth. A handful of people walking by do, however, stop to remark on a robot. Probably say some mean things. Yeah. Hey, thanks. Oh, 13%. India increased in 420% in the past 12 hours. Nice. Yeah, if you don't like it, move on. Get out of here. Don't be a dick.
ちっとも動かないけど初日から故障？
実はそもそも動かなかったりしてな。
Can already hear people talking trash. It's true that our booth, robot included, is pretty simple and janky. It's not elaborately designed like the bigger, more expensive exhibits. We have one long table by the aisle. On top are gun barrel production journal booklets detailing the club's history. It also contains behind-the-scenes shots from Gun Barrel's creation. Fairly simple, reflecting that we're rookies. We can't use our club's real name, so we entered the expo as the Tanegashima Robot Club. This means we can't even brag about our link to Misane or our wins at Robo 1. Our robot is the only thing we can use to compete. And yet, Model 2 remains crouched inside the booth.
おかしいな。昨日はちゃんと動いたのに。
どうにかならんのか。
おじき、落ち着きなって。
ジョーちゃん、解決できるなら10万までは出すぞ。
Guests have been flooding into the building, but Model 2 remains offline. At this point, we've come up with multiple reasons as to why that may be the case. One possibility is that the compact laser transmission gun is malfunctioning. After all, it's something we borrowed. Not even Akio knows how the gun works. When she tried shooting the laser at Model 2's antenna, she said it felt like the laser output was weaker than before. Akio's been holding the gun at eye level, inspecting it. Sadly, that's not enough to figure out what's wrong.
いっそバラしてみようかな。
やめときなって。元に戻せなくなって完全に壊れちゃうのがオチだから。
なんで最初からいきなりつまずいちゃうの？やろう。
アキちゃん、冷静に。それを作ってくれた人にはもう連絡したんでしょ？
した。折り返し電話がかかってくるはず。
そしたら状況を説明して解決策を練ればいい。で、今のところ俺たちはその送電銃についてはお手上げなわけだ。だったら他の原因がないか探ってみるべきでしょ。
他の原因。
今の俺たちにできることをやろう。ロボに詳しいのはアキちゃんだけだ。しっかりしてよ。
でも他って言われても。
Akio stares at the crouched Model 2. Then she has what appears to be an epiphany.
パラボラアンテナ。
それが怪しいの？
昨日しゃがませた後でいじったのはそこだけなの。
Yesterday, we moved the antenna to its waist so that we could get Model 2 to crouch down from a sleeping position. After putting the robot onto standby, it was returned to its original position on the back.
もしかしたら配線ミスがあるかも。ちょっと見てみる。
Akio immediately begins to climb atop the robot.
何やってんの？脚立使いなよ。
とりあえず見るだけだからこれで平気。
Oh my god, have we learned nothing? You sure about that? I know the robot is crouching right now, but the antenna is still about 3 meters up from the ground. She could slip and fall at any moment. It's dangerous and it's making me nervous. I can hear laughter from around me. Guests passing through the aisle are looking at Akio clinging to the robot's leg and snickering. Well, I figured this would happen. Anybody would look at the situation and chuckle. Akio reaches the parabolic antenna and starts checking the wiring. The three of us can only watch from below.
どうした？
Akio gives us an awkward smile, still clinging to Model 2.
間違えたっぽい。
間違えた？
配線つなぎ方間違ってたみたい。
その配線って昨日最後にアキちゃんが触ったところでしょ？
そう。
It was all just a careless mistake? Good grief.
それはどれぐらいで直せるんだ？
30分くらい。これから急いで直すから。悪いけど3人とも手伝って。
Mr. Candy's hired hands aren't here anymore. They were only brought in to help assemble the robot. Which means during the expo, Akio is in charge of all maintenance. She has nobody she can turn to for help. I'm basically useless.
脚立借りてきて。大きいやつ。
She didn't even prepare one beforehand? Jeez, Akio. I head over to the expo staff area and ask to borrow a big stepladder. As I walk through the arena, stepladder in hand, guests grumble at me. I apologize and try to hurry back to our booth. But sadly, the venue is already filled with people. The wide aisles are totally packed. This is the first time I've seen so many people concentrated into one place. It's impossible to walk in a straight line while holding this thing. I'm constantly being touched on my shoulders and back by people I don't know. As someone who grew up on a small island, this is a hell of an experience. This is the only thing things have ever gotten this close. The only time things ever get even this close to crowded on Tanegashima is during a festival. Ooh. I hear the morning rush hour in Tokyo is ridiculous, but I've yet to experience that in my time here so far. There were lots of people at Robo 1 last year, but I was an entrant. I didn't have to fight through a crowd. Quite frankly, I just want to scream. I'm totally overwhelmed in by this sea of human flesh. Should you not phrase it like that? Meanwhile, nobody else seems remotely bothered by any of this. Tokyo's scary as hell. I thought as much last year, and that feeling has gone unchanged. Up until yesterday, it took only 3 minutes to get here from the staff area to our booth. I've been walking for 10 minutes and I'm not even halfway there. I can't even go in the direction I want to go. The sea of people moves in waves and currents, and there's no pushing back against it. Plus, I'm carrying this stepladder to boot. I can't navigate through all of this. Which of course leads to me being pushed and dragged in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, I end up at a booth with a huge crowd in front of it. Oh, this one. The exoskeleton company exhibit is totally packed. The hug incidents and lawsuits have caused their reps to drop hard, but they still command lots of attention.
二足歩行型のロボットとは違ってスメラギは操縦するのではありません。
Right now, the big spider-like hug at the booth is called Sumeragi is wiggling its 6 legs around. It's actually kind of charming.
このタコさんのような6本足
I know it's a minor point, but the fact that they keep calling it spider-like and specifically mentioning its 6 legs, like really? I get it. It is reminiscent of a spider in form, but spider-like immediately followed by 6 legs bothers me. Anyways, moving on. Octopus-like. She said literally 6-legged octopus-like. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to they're messing with me. They're doing it on purpose. Stop it. When I first saw it, I thought it'd be more creepy in action, but I was totally wrong.
人には2本の手、2本の足しかないのに、どうやって6本足のスメラギを動かすんでしょう。不思議ですよね。その秘密は我が社が新たに開発した FOS フィンガーオペレートシステムにあります。
A companion girl holding a mic is explaining the control system near Sumeragi.
スメラギの6本ある足はすべて装着者の指で操作するんですね。これにより6本足でありながら直感的な操作が可能になっており、
Misane is nowhere to be found today. Since coming to contact... Since coming to Tokyo, Akio and I have tried contacting her every day, but she hasn't responded once. I thought she'd at least show up for opening day, but as I stare vacantly at the spider robot, the people around me begin to get irritated. You're in the way. Crap, they're right. Wait, I gotta hurry back to the booth. Looks like I'm gonna have to force my way through. I push my way through the crowds of people, apologizing along the way. Nearly 40 minutes have passed since rewiring on the parabolic antenna began. Repairs aren't going well. Akio is the only person who can fix it, and she's not as skilled as Subaru or Doc.
まったく男連中はただアキコちゃんの作業を見とるだけとは情けないの。
Mr. Candy frowns and sighs.
おじきもな。
The president and Michi literally stand there with their mouths hanging open, watching Akio work from below.
瀬ノ宮妹、パンツ見えるぞ。
Oh my god.
見えないよ。
Michi,
そのための
please.
キュロットスカートだし。
いいか妹。こいつは豆知識だから。キュロットスカートは裾が広めだろ。だからな、角度によっては隙間から中が見える。
Michi! The hell is wrong with you, dude?
この変態教師バカ。
Good grief. If he's just gonna bother her, he might as well hand out booklets to people walking around. What am I doing? Moving the honorary prez around in an attempt to draw people to our booth. But at the end of the day, it's just a hobby robot. Guests are here to see giant robots. There are less and less people passing by, too. We've literally been the object of ridicule for the entire time. I feel like an eternity's worth of time has passed. If this is what we gotta deal with on the first day, the next half year is gonna be a real struggle. Oh, I just want to go home. Or at least play some Kill Ballad. Literally from out of nowhere, a young guy I've never seen before runs up and kicks the honorary prez like a soccer ball. What?
ちょっといきなり何を
How dare you? But before I can finish complaining, the guy has moved on to his next course of action. He holds up a plastic bottle of mineral water and flings it at Model 2. The robot is over 5 meters away from me and the guest. The plastic bottle flies in a wide arc toward Akio working on top of the stepladder. What the hell? The plastic bottle hits Akio, causing her to lose her balance on the stepladder. She swings her hands around, trying to grab at air, but ultimately ends up falling. The fuck? What? Security? Is there no security? I rush over in a panic. What? What the hell?
なんとか。
Upon closer inspection, Michi is pinned beneath Akio. Oh, God. I guess he tried to catch her.
ナイスミッチ、教師の鏡。
おい、重いから早くどけ。
あ、ごめん。
Akio hurriedly stands up. She doesn't seem to have any major injuries.
頭とか打ってない。
うん、平気。ミッチ、かばってくれてありがとね。
これでも先生は体育教師だからな。これ豆な。
That's not really a pro tip, just a fact.
おーい、今ペットボトルを投げたのはドイツじゃ。
Mr. Candy's angry voice echoes throughout the arena. The culprit flinches a little before angrily shouting back.
お前たちが頑張れるなんかをモデルにしたロボットを作るのが悪いんだ。
Oh!
不謹慎だろ。あのアニメの関係者は何人も死んでるんだぞ。
Piss off. How about that? How about piss off?
万博に出してくれな。今すぐ消えろ。
The culprit says his piece, then rushes off. It's impossible to chase him after he slips into the crowd.
なんか悲しいな。
What a dick.
頑張れるってここまで嫌われちゃったのか。
It was only half a year ago that was hailed as a masterpiece.
ロボットに罪はないのにね。
アキちゃん。
あ、心配かけてごめんね。配線あと少しでつなぎ終わるから。すぐ済ませちゃうね。
本当に大丈夫？
平気だって、ミッチーのおかげでね。だから早くこの子を動かしてあげよう。どれだけ嫌われたってうちらが頑張って作ってきた子なんだもん。誰になんて言われようとうちらは胸を張ってこの子を動かしてあげなくちゃ。あの人もこう言ってた。誤解の生んだ想念が放出されたと思いたいな。気にするなって。
I don't really get what she's trying to say. Akio energetically climbs back up the ladder, breathing through her nose.
あとカイ、種子島シーサンを回収しといて。
Yeah, I hope that they didn't break that. Crap, that's right. The poor honorary prez rolled to the edge of the booth after getting kicked. One of its arms came off too. Oh no. Jeez, what a crappy thing to do. I'll have Akio fix it later. Poor guy. I pick up the honorary prez and neatly put him away in his special case. And just as I finish, Akio waves at me from the stepladder. She's totally defenseless and barely balanced. Don't blame me if you get another bottle thrown at you. Jeez.
アキちゃん、いいからさっさと降りて。
Akio climbs down and shoots me a small nod.
すぐに起動準備始めよう。
I nod in response and open up the Kill Ballad system app. I have control. Akio shoves the compact transmission gun into Michi's hands and goes to start the power generator.
よーし、盛大にインパクト重視で
And this guy offers moral support.
なんざ吹き飛ばせ。立て、スペースアメロボ。
Oh, great. Oh.
違います社長。
Stop.
頑張れる試作2号機です。
細かいことは気にすんな。
ミッチ、送電開始。
なんで先生が。
Michi whines, but nonetheless aims the transmission gun at the parabolic antenna and pulls the trigger. The laser fires from the end of the gun.
カイ、ガンツクツ起動。
おいっと。
I switch the power on. All the joints in Model 2 begin to creak alive. A video feed of the inside of the venue appears on my phone droid screen. I can see the other robots too.
出力は
Akio checks the telemetry on her own phone droid. Frau gave her the software.
出力正常。よかった。
After completing her task, Akio rubs her eyes with the back of her hand. Then, after taking a big breath, she slaps both hands against her cheeks.
うちは今猛烈にたぎってる。頑張れるのかっこよさ、凄さ、強さを見せつける時が来た。
強さっていうのはやめといた方がいいと思う。
え、そう？じゃあそれはなしとして、とにかく今すぐ立たせよう。
それについては了解。
じゃあみんな離れて。
We distance ourselves from Model 2 and scatter to the edges of the booth. After putting some distance between me and the robot, I input the crouch command. If it's standing, this command gets it to crouch. If it's already crouching, it stands up. Alright, do as you're told, buddy. Model 2 keeps its balance, extends its knees, and slowly stands upright. The view on my phone droid expands. The arena is totally packed with people. I can also clearly see over 10 other robots mid-performance. Nice.
おお、ナイスインパクトじ
Said
ゃ。
nice.
カイト君、もっと胸を強調させてくれ。胸っちより我が社のロゴをな。
Oh my god, get this guy out of
そ
here.
んなモーションは
Be gone.
ないです。
I wish you wouldn't ask the impossible of me.
ミッチ、電源供給し続けてね。
Akio then picks up a mic, jumps up onto the platform, and starts talking to the guests walking by in the aisle.
おじゃりもーせー。種子島ロボ部、これより始動します。確かに頑張れるをモデルにすることはこのタイミングじゃ良くないことかもしれません。でもうちらはそれでも頑張れるっていう作品のことが大好きです。うちらと同じ気持ちの人だけでいいから見ていってください。それとポケコンのイルオを通して見るとあっと驚く仕掛けがありますんで。
Akio then clears her throat and pauses for a moment.
それではまずガンツクプロジェクトとは何かについてからお話ししましょう。ガンツクプロジェクトは今からおよそ9年前我がロボ部を設立した人がつけたプロジェクト名です。もともとは実物大ガンバムを作ろうプロジェクトでした。でもその後当時ちょうど放送中だったガンバレルをモデルにするよう変更しまして、実物大ガンバレルを作ろうプロジェクトになりました。ここに立っているのは実物大ガンバレル試作2号機です。思えば完成までは長い長い苦難の道のりでした。最初は同好会からスタートし、設立時の部員はたったの一人で。
アキちゃん、その話長くなる？
Two guests had stopped to watch Akio when she got up on the platform, but they quickly left after getting bored.
とっとと動かしちゃおうよ。
Yeah.
でもやっぱうちらの愛と勇気と栄光の奇跡を語った方がインパクト出るって。
Oh my god. Akio, please.
出ないよ、まったくね。
全くインパクトになっとらんぞ、アキホちゃん。
And what does she even mean by the tale of love and courage and glory? That sounds so corny. After looking dejected for a moment, Akio quickly regains her composure.
まずはパフォーマンスで見せるってことだね。じゃあ。
Akio holds up the mic again. She poses exaggeratedly like Mr. Pleiades would, then shouts orders at Model 2.
ガンツク2前進せよ。
So, that's how we're doing this. Got it. After receiving Akio's instructions, I quickly input the advanced command. Model 2 walks forward. To the guests, it should look like the robot followed Akio's orders. Well, if there was an audience, that is.
続いてガンツク2 90度ターン。カニ歩き。
Despite taking it apart and reassembling it, Gunbuild 2 moves smoothly, just like it did when we tested it on the island. The electric motor's gears are loud, making it significantly noisier than the hydraulic motors in the other robots. But that actually has the effect of making our robot sound more powerful. And indoors, the effect is markedly increased. People slowly began to gather in front of our booth, perhaps drawn by the loud noises. I figured people would stop to look once our robot got moving.
パパ、 のロボかっこ悪い。
そうだな。またルーノ社のロボットを見に行くか。
Hey, come on now. Talk about straight to the point.
はーい、かっこ悪いとか言ってるそこの子。
Akio starts talking directly to the little kid. Should she really be doing that? Maybe I should stop her. I look to Michi for help, but our delinquent teacher has his hands full just holding the transmission gun.
騙されたと思ってイルオでうちらのガンツク2を見てください。そこに本物のガンバレルがいます。
ガンバレルなんて子供の教育に悪いじゃないか。見せられないよ。
わあ、本当だ、ガンバレルがいる。かっこいい。
Hey! Yes! He said it's cool! The father refuses to do as told, but the little boy pulls out his phone droid, takes a look, and starts cheering.
おい、たかし。
だってパパ、すっごいかっこいいよ。
But it's so cool!
動いてるし。
That's awesome! This is the first positive reaction we've gotten from the audience all day.
ガンツク2、撃砕第一から元気一発をお見舞いして。
According to Akio, these are Model 2's ults, special motions programmed into the robot. She wants me to link them into a super combo? I guess she's not holding any cards back. Akio's totally on cloud 9.
いいけどね。
The only person in the crowd enjoying himself is a little boy. That's enough, though. That's enough for her. But regardless, he's our first real guest we've gotten in our half-year journey. So, while he may only be one person, I want to make sure he goes home satisfied. The special motions require more inputs than the basic ones, so the timing is a lot harsher. Up until the very end, Juno was never able to do it. But she's an amateur. I'm the man ranked second place in the world at Kill Ballad. I can do command inputs like this with my eyes closed. No biggie. I tap the buttons at high speed. After receiving the command, Model 2 begins to move. It's not just walking. Gekisai Daiichi is a karate kata that Juno has been performing since she was a child. All we cut from the kata were the kicks. Model 2 turns to the left defensively, then transitions into a front punch. It then turns to the right and repeats the motion. After omitting the kick, it performs an elbow strike, sweep, and another front punch. It follows those motions up with 2 left and right punches. This entire sequence of movements is registered to a single command. Even the Zanshin stance, while slightly awkward, is reproduced faithfully. It's apparently a fairly basic kata, but it's super impactful when a giant robot performs it. The punches in particular have a lot of force behind them, leading to the boy in the audience to cheer in excitement. Once I've input a command, I can relax until it's time for the next one, so I take a moment. I look over at the father and son. The father, who'd been so negative about Gun Barrel, is now looking at Model 2 with his son, eyes glimmering. Oh, this is so great! He kind of reminds me of Akio's old man. The same guy who had his 2 daughters inherit his love for robots and robot anime. In a way, he's the reason that Model 2 exists at all. Some adults never stop loving robot anime, no matter how old they get. Seeing this father and son follow the robot's movements together is heartwarming. I can't help but smile. It's funny, I was so annoyed at how the dude threw me the bottle earlier and made fun of our work. But now? Well, right now, I genuinely just want these 2 to enjoy themselves. Gekisai Daiichi is almost over, so I input the Blast of Spirit command, and after watching my timing. This is Model 2's most showy move. In the anime, Gun Barrel sorties and... Sorties? I don't know what that word means. And then does its signature pose in front of the enemy. I don't know what that means. This motion basically represents Gun Barrel itself. Akio pushed hard to get this programmed into Model 2, saying that anyone would get hyped after seeing it. Akio shouts into the mic as Model 2 moves along. She even copies its poses. Akio's movements are totally synchronized with Model 2. That's so great! But she's not the only one. Both the father and son are posing as well. Model 2's special motion comes to an end, accompanied by Akio's cry. Our first real guests take a commemorative photo afterwards. They grab a copy of the production journal and leave with smiles as we wave and see them off. That's so great. Akio comes running over to me with a big smile and goes for the high five. I grin and respond in kind. We're still not getting many visitors. We're on the edge of the venue, so most guests end up going to the major centerpiece exhibits. I'd say out of the 100,000 expo visitors, we got about 500 guests who'd stop by to take a look at Model 2. But you know what? The expo has only just begun. We just gotta keep moving forward, one person at a time. We knew from the start that we wouldn't be able to win against the high-budget bots from major companies. That's why we just have to slowly and steadily crawl along. I mean, winning the Grand Prix might be a little difficult, but the fact that we're standing here at all is a miracle in and of itself. Oh, that's so great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. 16%? Spain 80%, Finland 70%, Japan completion past 30%. Nice.
開幕から5日目を迎え、平日にもかかわらず大盛況の東京万博ですが、今日はこの巨大ロボットの祭典ともいえるお台場会場で初々しい才能を羽ばたかせようとしている現役高校生をご紹介しましょう。
It is a little concerning that we're almost a quarter into the year. Because, you know, apocalypse. Ow. The pretty reporter points her mic at Akio, who stiffens up immediately. Is she going to be able to answer her questions? I'm watching from a distance, and quite frankly, I'm concerned. This is the live broadcast. It could be shown on Tanegashima right now.
今回の万博に一般参加枠で出展しており、しかも制作者は唯一の現役高校生なんです。すごいですよね。瀬宮さん、どうして巨大ロボットを作ろうと思ったんですか？ロボットになるのが夢だったからです。
Calm down.
そうなんですか。種子島ではロボット開発は盛んなんですか？宇宙開発の方では有名ですが。 盛んじゃないです。よく笑われたりしたし、部員も今じゃ2人だけだし、それでも協力してくれる人はたくさんいました。日本人はやっぱりロボットが好きなんだと思います。なるほど。東京万博に実際に参加してみて5日目ですが、手応えはどうでしょう？まだまだこれからです。グランプリ 取りますから。わあ、大胆な宣言が飛び出しましたね。これは期待できるかもしれません。さあ、そんな瀬宮さんですが、お姉さんは今メディアから引っ張りだこのエグゾスケルトン社の瀬宮美咲さんなんですよね。今日その瀬宮美咲さんが会場を訪れてデモンストレーションを行うことになっていますが。
Oh, is that real? We don't have time to stay here then. That's the first Akio or I have heard about that. Akio flashes me a puzzled look. I don't have an answer for her. I only just heard it myself, and I'm surprised too.
お姉さんは明穂さんにとってどんな人でしょう？今日ここに来るんですか？ええ、そうプレスリリースにありましたよ。お姉ちゃんがここに。はい、その
Got awkward real quick. The reporter glances over at the man who seems to be our director and then looks back at the camera.
とっても楽しみですよね。もしかしたら姉妹で共演もあるかもしれませんよ。では CM を挟んで世界各国の巨大ロボットたちをご紹介します。
One of the assistants yells, "Entering commercial break." The reporter's smile morphs into an expression of relief.
びっくりしました。ちょっとハプニングみたいになってしまいましたね。驚かせてしまってごめんなさい。お姉さんのこと聞いていなかったんですね。はい。本来は種子島ロボ部のロボットを紹介する予定だったんですが。
The reporter and directors draw close to each other and quietly discuss something. Their conversation ends quickly, and the reporter offers Akio a smile and a handshake.
では瀬宮さん、 ご出演ありがとうございました。取材はこれで終わりですので、それでは。
She forces a smile and, like an adult, offers a word of gratitude before trying to head to the next interview.
お姉ちゃん、瀬宮美咲は何時頃ここに来るかわかりますか？確か午後2時頃だと聞きましたけど。2時ですね。ありがとうございます。
In the end, the reporter flashes her a smile and dashes off to the next booth with her people. What a kind person.
カイ、お姉ちゃんが来るって。
Akio's expression is even more tense than it was during the interview.
ああ、今日はなんだか会場内が落ち着きないなって思ったんだけど、それが原因だったのかもね。
会えるかな、これだけの人の中で。
ミサ姉が行く場所は決まってる。エグスケ社のブースだ。向こうが来ないならこっちから会いに行けばいいだけさ。これまではこっちが追う立場だったけど、今回は待ち構える立場になれるわけ。
We won't be able to have a leisurely conversation here. But we just need to meet up with her. If we do that, all the misunderstandings from constantly missing each other will be cleared up. At least I hope so. I don't know about that. Akio is still tense, so I put my hands on her cheeks and stir them around.
何を？
実の姉に会うだけなのになんでそんな緊張してるわけ？
だってまさか今日会えるかもしれないなんて予想してなくて。心の準備が。
Could she be more of a handful?
とにかくワンチャンを絶対に逃しちゃダメだ。いい？
わかった。
Today's gonna be a crazy one. I look at my wristwatch. February 6, 2020. 11:84. What? 11:14 a.m. Misane is scheduled to appear in less than 3 hours. Alright. I'm calling it. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Goodbye. I'm so invested. I need to know more. Bye.